Hey, welcome everyone. Episode 2 of Dork Cast. Look at us go. We're on the second episode. We're doing great. We haven't missed a week yet. But yes, this is Dorkcast, a quote-unquote live podcast talking about action figures, toy photography, stuff going on in the toy community, toy news. At least that's what I'm trying to do. Mr. Stickbot says hello. Domesticated Caveman says hi to Comic Dad. I say hi to you both. Hello. Thanks everyone for being here. Hey, No Chewing's here. Thank you everyone so much for tuning in. I appreciate you all so much. Actually, I saw someone real quick in the live chat earlier was like, he's sitting at 299,000 subscribers. Yeah, I'm hoping by tomorrow the channel will be at 300,000, which is crazy. It wasn't that long ago when it got to 100,000 and I got this little plaque right here. So everyone who's watching, whether you're subscribed or not, thank you so much. That's pretty crazy, right? 300,000. What the heck? It's wild. It's wild. I'm very, very grateful and I feel very proud. So thank you everybody. That's crazy. Super crazy. And if you're watching, you're not subscribed, go for it. Go for it. And like it too. That'd be great. Quick like would be great. Anyway, and if you're listening to this afterwards on a podcast thing, thanks. Just keep listening. Just keep on going. So yeah, every Friday at 4 p.m. I'm gonna make sure, try my best to have episode of Dorkcast, which is gonna be great, and have a nice Q&A at the end. So if anyone has questions, save them for the end because I'll be able to answer them all then. I got a bunch of stuff to get through there, so I probably won't really be able to get to questions so much right now. But there's some pretty cool toy news, to be honest. There's some things that are kind of exciting. And the main topic I've got about the bootlegs versus third party, man, that's gonna be a good one. I've got some stuff to say. Ronin reviews. I love you, Sirdorkus. Love you too. Ronin reviews. Toy Box Pistols JMG. Thank you guys all for being here. I'm super grateful. So really quick, before I get into the toy news, I want to talk about, I did mention these last time, but there's a couple events coming up. One of them is tomorrow that I'm going to be going to, that they're toy related, which are really cool. So tomorrow is in Johnstown, New York. So if anyone lives in upstate New York or anywhere near, I would really recommend if you check out the Toying Around Block Party. I'm going to be there tomorrow too. I don't have a table or anything, so all the information for it is in the video description. It's really cool. It's like they book out the whole entire block, and it's just like toy related stuff and pop culture. It's so cool and such a fun event. There's like I have such a great time every time I go. I don't have a table or anything. I'm just going as a consumer, as a attendee. I'm just going to have fun. So if you decide to go, I'd love to see you there. Also, I do have some of my things for sale in the Toying Around store, so that's cool. But there's that. That's tomorrow. And then in a couple of weeks, I will actually have a little table, a little spot at the All American Toy Show. It's All American, everybody. It's all American. Well, no, it's just sorry, it's the Great American. I always say it wrong. It's the Great American Toy Show. And this is in Massachusetts. So this is a little bit of a drive for me. So this is in Taunton, Massachusetts, which I'm not I think that's a couple hours, maybe 3 hours from me, a little bit east. But if anyone is in this area, I actually do have a table. I'm going to be selling a bunch of figures, my old figures, stuff that I've reviewed on the channel that I just don't have space for, and Sirdork crap too, tchotchke crap. I got some hats and stuff like that. So if you're in the area, that would be so cool. Yes, I'm expecting to see you. No chewing. I'm expecting to. I usually do at all of these shows. So I'd be very disappointed if I didn't see you. So if you're in the area, please, that would be so cool. Come show up and say hi. Dest King, I see you there, and I want to. You're honestly one of my favorite channels now. Ever since I saw your latest video, as long as I put that one out, I would suggest reviewing more Hammond collection figures. Well, I probably will end up doing a little bit more Hammond collection dinosaur stuff. I'm very, very pleased and grateful for the response of the last video I put out yesterday. So thank you to anyone who's watched that. But yes, I do plan on doing more of those. I definitely do. Ronan, seeing my king in public would be an honor. I mean, it would be great to meet you. That's very kind, but it would be really, really cool. It'd be really, really cool. So if you're nearby, please come and say hi. That would be so super, super cool. Okay, let me get into the toy news stuff. So the first thing I want to get into is there's a bunch of Tamashii Nations. They dropped a bunch of stuff. So the first thing is this figure right here, which I've been seeing a lot of like mixed things. I've been seeing like, whoa, this is awesome, and a lot of like, this is stupid. A mixture of positive and negative things. So Tamashii Nations revealed a SH Figuarts Gamerverse line. Basically, I don't know if they revealed the line or they just revealed this figure and they're calling it Gamerverse. So this is a Cyclops from Marvel vs. Capcom, which is interesting because Hasbro also just said, hey, we're doing Marvel vs. Capcom stuff. Here's a bunch of it. And this looks great because Cyclops was always my favorite X-Men growing up watching, the cartoon. So I think this figure looks awesome. And there's a lot of other options for this figure out there. There's a Mafex and there's a Marvel Legends. And now SH Figuarts has one out too. And I think this looks cool. I think this looks fantastic. This pose is sassy as heck. Like, look at that butt. I mean, honestly, this pose in that butt is just making me want to buy it more. So I think I'm actually going to pick this up, which is actually a lot for me because I usually will only dive into like X-Men stuff specifically if I think it's something I can do for this channel, because I don't have a huge connection to X-Men except for watching the show as a kid, and Cyclops was my favorite. So here we go. This is that. Domesticated Caveman is saying the thong is killer, which that's a lot of complaints with SH Figuarts, the crotch area. It says G-clops because of the G string. Honestly, yeah, that type of crotch area that they do a lot in the figures doesn't really bother me, but I know that it's something that people don't necessarily love. I think it looks really cool, and I'm actually really looking forward to it. But a lot of the discourse that I've been seeing is that it's going to be small. It's going to be too small. But like, I don't really see the issue. Why it's going to be too small? It's going to be the same size that SH Figuarts is going to be doing. Like, do you expect them to make something out of scale to what they would normally make, so it would match other competitor brands? That sounds pretty backwards to me. So it makes sense for them to put it at the same scale all of their other figures are at, right? Like, I think, yeah, it will be weird if you do want to try and mix it up with your other figures, but that's just kind of the way things are. It would be even weirder for them to be like, you know what, we're gonna make it bigger than all of our other figs, just so it can match with our competitors. It looks great. Ultimate Lucas, it looks good to me. Maybe some of the negativity that I'm hearing is it's just a very small but loud percentage, a very, very tiny percentage of people, but very loud. And that's usually the case. Like anytime you see negative stuff on the internet, it's a very small percentage. Most of the people that are watching and consuming this stuff don't even comment anyway. Most of the people who are angry are upset. Those are the ones commenting. So this looks great. So I'm very much looking forward to this. The next thing that I wanted to talk about here's a cool new Ghidorah, which is like the 1972 Ghidorah SH Monster Arts. That's pretty cool. I'm honestly not too crazed about it just because my 1991 Ghidorah is by Haya is amazing. So I'm totally cool with that. But so they revealed these Harry Potter SH Figure Arts figures a while back, along with the Lord of the Rings stuff. And they just had like one photo. Boom, that's it. And now here's a couple more photos. And these look cool. I like Harry Potter. I would say a little bit more than the casual fan would. I like Harry Potter a lot. I did a recent rewatch and I really enjoyed myself. Like I was like, I love these figures even more. JJ Garcia, hey, thanks for watching. And so No Chewing says Cyclops is awesome, but Harry and Voldemort are must-haves for me. So I think the figures look really, really great. The one thing about this Harry Potter one that is unfortunate for me that I'm like, why of all of the Harry Potter figures to put out, why do the Triwizard Tournament outfit? That's just so specific to me that I can't use this figure as a universal Harry Potter. I can specifically only use it if I want to do the Goblet of Fire. It's way too specific. I know that Figure Arts did put out the little kid versions a while ago that are more generic, just with the house robes and stuff, and that's cool. But I would much rather have a slightly more adult one. He's like 15 or something, and I like this age, but like it's so specific to this exact, not even this movie, just this event. So it just seems like it's like I don't know. It's that kind of stinks for me. CD Toy Picks is like totally agree. JJ Garcia agrees. Well, thanks guys for agreeing with me. And so he does look really great though. And there's also a Voldemort. So this is the Voldemort. Voldemort's perfect. There's no complaints there. It's Voldemort. The face looks like him. Looks like Ray Fiennes. He's got soft goods. He's got the Havana Kedavra pose going on. Looks great. I wonder if he will come with the what's the name of Dumbledore's wand? Mr. Kiwi says, "Take my money." Yeah, what's the name of the Elder Wand? Right? Is that it? Thank you, Vamp. Thank you for everyone. Anytime I do some stupid impression, thank you everyone who humors me and says that it's good. The Elder Wand, two exploding eggs. Thank you for confirming that. Yeah, I imagine maybe not because he wouldn't have it in this movie, right? So, I think these are fantastic. I probably will get them, but man, maybe they'll do a little more with the license and put out a different Harry or what, you know. Appertoy said the Voldemort versus Jesus would be a mashup must. Kind of. That would be pretty cool. And so the only other thing I wanted to really mention about Tamashii is this right here. Our boy, Superman, SH Figure Arts, obviously is, you know, I feel like it's pretty safe to assume that all the big brands are going to be putting out Superman. You know, I hope so. You know, I'm sure Mafex is going to do it. Figure Arts. They did it with Henry Cavill. I'm sure there's going to be a Mezco also. I'm sure there's going to be all of them. And I'm going to get all of them. You know, so, but this is the first. Well, no, actually, no. The only other one I've seen besides McFarlane is Beast Kingdom, who has one. There's a couple customs I've seen out there. And I mean, it's all we're seeing is just the chest right here. And that's great. So cool. It looks fine. But just knowing it's on the way is good. Good to Krieg. Kaiju Turtle, thank you so much for joining the channel membership. Really appreciate it. Welcome aboard. That's amazing. Thanks so much. But Krieg has a really good point. Wonder if Inart will do one. Man, man. I just hope Inart does every movie version of Batman and Superman because I would love them all. Man, I have a feeling they will. I have a feeling that they will. But yeah, just the fact that we know that Superman's coming in figure arts makes me very happy. And you know that I'll be doing it. You know that I'll be getting it, making a video. Speaking of Superman, tomorrow video is the McFarlane Superman review video. So please be excited for that. Inart Arkham Origins. Oh, I don't know. You know what? I don't think they've actually they've only shown him. They haven't really shown off any kind of. The only other Inart 112 that I think is available for pre-order are some of those Wukong figures. So, good question. So that's it for Tamashii Nations toy news. That they dropped some good stuff, so that got me very excited. So there's a couple other things. So a lot of the time for just random toy news, I'll use Preternia.com. So I got a couple things I'm going to show off with them. So the first thing, they revealed a bunch of new Mafex figures. So number one is this new Miles Morales, and these are exclusive to something, right? Maybe not. I could be wrong, but this is a new adult Miles Morales, which I think one of these has already existed, right? But something about this is new. Is it just like the outfit, or obviously something about the suit? I know that they've made this Miles. Maybe it's just a different paint. Somebody's gonna have to. Someone's gonna have to see Master Tabby's like, that's not new, is it? I don't know. It is. Well, it's not a CT Toys figure, JJ Garcia. I mean, CT Toys might rip it off and do it, sure. But yeah, I think it's the same body. A lot of these new Mafex figures are just like repaints, but it's pretty cool. So there's a Miles right here, and then we've got another new T1000, which I don't know what's new about this. Has Mafex done the T1000? I don't know. Maybe I'm just thinking of the NECA one. So there's the new T1000 Terminator, which looks great. And then the T800 is not necessarily new with Arnold Schwarzenegger, but this John Connor is new, right? There hasn't been a John Connor from Terminator 2 Mafex, right? So that's pretty new. That's definitely new. And maybe this is a 2-pack? Yeah, it's a 2-pack. Mafex 2-pack. I mean, I'm not interested in a John Connor figure, but I do love Terminator very much. That's just a franchise that I want to see thrive and succeed, but they just can't seem to do it. The last movie started out so good, but then it got real lame after the first act. Master Tabby saw Terminator 2 for the first time yesterday. That's cool. What did you think? I imagine you thought it was pretty cool. It is very, very cool. And first time is just like amazing. James Cameron, man. So that's cool. Aaron says, Aram Alvarez says, I heard the Terminator anime was good. You know what? I thought it was kind of boring. I didn't finish it. I thought a lot of the concepts were kind of interesting, but I don't know. I kind of meh. So another Mafex. We've got Homelander. So seeing anything the boys related is going to make me excited. So this is Mafex Homelander has obviously been a thing for a while, but this is a Homelander with blood all over his face. He's just killed somebody, and he's got multiple faces. One of he's like smiling like he just drank a glass of milk. And he's got a very intense face with the teeth showing. Looks really good. I almost wish they had a face like that. Actually, all of these faces look better than the faces on the original Mafex, but there's just blood all over them, which honestly is a little unfortunate. I would love to have these on the one that I've already got, but man, They look so, don't these look so good? All of these look incredible. Yeah. Yeah, really, really good. Charlotte Welch says a Superman versus Homelander photo would be a sick photo. It would be, but like, I feel like Superman would just like flick the Homelander in the nose, and that'd be it. That'd be the end of that fight. But no, this looks really, really good. So really, really great. What else we got? There's more Mafex, right? Oh no, those are all them. Oh no, that's not true. That's not true. This one was probably the biggest deal. So this is DC Night Crusader Batman. So this looks like, for the most part, a bunch of recycled things from older Batman Mafex stuff. Vamp, Superman versus Omni-Man. Thoughts? Obviously, Superman, I think, would win with that. Superman, he would win. It'd be a close fight a little bit, but no, Superman. Anyway, but this Mafex Batman looks really good. Most like I said, recycled pieces from other Mafex Batman, but the face and getting that nice yellow logo on there is something that Mafex hasn't done yet. So this is a really good looking Batman. I don't know. I might pick him up. I think I might. Looks really good. Wasn't there a Hush Batman Black version? Isn't it the same? Yes, but the Hush one doesn't have the yellow symbol on the chest, right? No, I don't think so. And the head is different. The head he's got taller ears, that kind of thing. Aram says, "Is this the Nightfall mold?" There's probably some pieces of it. I think there's probably a bunch of pieces from a lot of it, but yeah, you know what? I think the chest and especially the arms and stuff, those are looking more like the Nightfall one than the cape. Lucian says, "I don't like the plastic top of the cape." You know what? Me neither. I don't either. Yeah. Oh yeah, Apertoy, the belt seems different. Yeah, the big yellow belt is also, yeah, that's definitely new also. So yeah, it's a very just like classic looking Batman, and you can have as just like your Batman, and that's always a great thing to have. So the only other thing here is the Mafex Scarlet Spider, which this has already existed, right? But this is, and Spider-Man people, let me know. Spider-Man people, the main difference is some of the paint, right? The paint, he's got more of a black gradient red kind of the shading, Aram, yes, right? That's what's new on him. So, I mean, a lot of these new figures from Mafex are kind of redo, repaints, this, whatever, which is never a bad thing. Sometimes some people miss the first one, so it's great to get this new one. And I don't know. I think it's cool. And I've never read any comics with Scarlet Spider, so I don't really know much about the character at all. I think the design is awesome. It's definitely one of the coolest Spider-Man designs, in my opinion. The sleeveless hoodie, like, that's just super cool. Super, super cool. The knees are a deal breaker, huh? Says Juke. What about the knees don't you like? I think the knees look great. And the hoodie's different too. Okay. All right. I mean, it looks good. It looks good. I probably will skip him. I probably will skip him. But that's cool. That's fine. So, there was one other thing from Paternia that I wanted that was revealed. So this right here, another SDCC exclusive. So this is for the Dino people out there, and which I guess I am one of them now. So this is an SDCC exclusive Mattel Jurassic World Tyrannosaurus Convention Crasher box set for $85. So we've got like a 3 3/4 inch scale T-Rex with very green looking paint, and it comes with this like mascot like T-Rex figure. Which is cool, and it's a convention crasher, and apparently it looks like you can change the heads in the person wearing the T-Rex thing, and it's cool because I feel like there's so many times I've seen that T-Rex inflatable mascot costume that people wear just for fun. Right, it's a blow up costume, Stubbs. Yeah, exactly. Hey, Bup. Sup, Bup? So, what's the price? $85 for this. And if you're in San Diego Comic-Con, you'll be able to get it. But if not, then I don't know. But I think it's cool. This is definitely the kind of thing that's good for exclusives. Like something goofy and weird and unique and different. Not something like super flagship important to make exclusive. That sucks. That's kind of like what we were talking about last time with that Hasbro thing, right? So that's pretty cool. And Kaiju Nerd, I have no idea if this is the original Hammond T-Rex. I have no idea. Sorry, man. Oh, Stubb says it's available on the Mattel site right now. Cool. All right. There you go. Go on Mattel site and get it. Thank you very much, Stubbs, for that. So very exciting. I still got more toy news. There's a lot of cool stuff. So the next thing is not super like action figure-y, but I think this is still really cool, and I think I would be silly not to mention it. And I think people will get a kick out of it. So McDonald's is doing a mini meals thing. I guess it's a new Happy Meal thing, and all of the toys are like mini McDonald's pieces. Charlotte, yes, I will be doing a top 10 toy photography later on. So there's like a soda machine. You got like a burger and stuff. You got everything they're all completely different scale. Like there's a booth table seat right next to the ketchup machine, and they're not nearly the same size. There's a truck. There's a golden Happy Meal. I think this is cool. And, like miniature things, it kind of falls within this kind of thing. Like I think this is really cool. And they even got a little sign. There we go. I hate the way that they posted this like this. So yeah, the cash register thing, you got a whole, maybe that McDonald's mini thing, this could be used as like a kaiju building. Actually, I kind of want that. I feel like that could work. Isn't this cool? So I think this is cool. Yes, Bup. It's a toy in a toy. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like this was definitely worth mentioning. I don't know. Actually, some of these, okay, this tray with the Happy Meal on it, this looks like it would scale with an action figure. Same with these fries. These would scale with an action figure. I can see like a figure holding that, and I think that's really cool. So anyway, either way, that's really fun. And another weird thing that was revealed are these DC Sonic figures. They're going to be only at Target. So they're they're like repaints of original Sonic figures, but they look like DC. So there's Sonic, but he looks like the Flash. And we've got Batman Shadow. That makes sense. There's no Superman, but I get how it works thematically. So hang on. So we've got Rose, right, as Wonder Woman. I don't know who the Green Lantern guy is. I don't know enough about Sonic. What's the Green Lantern? What's this guy who's a Green Lantern? Sonic people? Anybody? I don't know. So, and of course it comes with just Darkseid. Also, I don't. Why not have like Mr. Robotnik be Darkseid or something? That's just really, I don't really get the Silver Moon. Okay, Silver. Thank you guys. Okay, the Green Lantern one is Silver. That's kind of cool. Will the Darkseid be 1/12? I'm assuming Darkseid will be the same scale as these Sonic figures, which I don't know if. Here comes Venom, by the way. I don't really know if what scale that really would be like. So whatever scale with the Sonic figures. Yes, Venom is here. Venom is here. He does what he wants to do. And the only other thing on here, oh yeah, so if anyone's really been interested in those Marvel Legends Gamerverse figures, shoot, the Marvel Gamerverse, Marvel Legends, the Marvel vs. Capcom, the Juggernaut one is up for pre-order right now. I was able to snag one on Entertainment Earth this morning. The two exploding egg scenes had a Venom for me. They're saying hi to you, pal. He's on my lap. But I imagine this figure will sell out probably pretty quickly. So if you're going to pre-order him, go and do it. He's going to be on Big Bad Toy Store and all of everywhere you can get Marvel Legends, he'll be there. He's not exclusive. Amazon. So if you want to grab him, I would recommend doing it today because he'll probably sell out. And if you can do it on Entertainment Earth and use my link, which is in the description of the video, that is very helpful for me. So, yeah. The Venom and Captain America said that's already up, right? Is that already up? No, the Wolverine one is up, and one of the other ones is up. And maybe that one is up, right? So yeah, cool. Very cool stuff. Next, toy news. There's so much. All week, I was just like writing down different stuff. So this is for my Pacific Rim people. So Ling Jahun has been putting out all these fantastic Pacific Rim figs. You know, we've got Gypsy, Crimson Typhoon is out, and Leatherback is coming very soon. And so the first photos of the Ling Jahun Striker Eureka is here. There's only 2 pictures. And honestly, this Reddit post were the only place I could find it. And honestly, it looks amazing. It looks so good. And I cannot wait to get a hold of this thing. Like, this pose, there must be some type of totally interchangeable chest with the missiles coming out. Looks so good. I'm so excited. So, I'm sure Calcus will have them. And, you know, places like Entertainment Earth don't really pick them. Oh, Big Bad Toy Store will have it. That's for sure. So, yeah, very, very exciting. And, okay, there's 2 more toy news things. The next one isn't something I would typically really, I don't know. It just seems a little bit random. But I thought this was super cool when this came up on my feed. And I just want to talk about it because it's really cool. So this is 3-0. So if you don't know 3-0, they make a lot of like 1/6 stuff. They make, I don't know, like I don't know. They make a lot of like die cast stuff, a lot of higher end stuff. But they have this DLX line. I did an Iron Man review of one of these DLX figures like a couple of years ago, and that figure is so cool. It's like a totally die cast. It's not 1/12. It's a little bit bigger than 1/12. It's about there basically. And so this is the Mark II Iron Man, but this is a chrome edition, and just look how pretty and shiny it is. Vamp is just like shiny. 1/10 scale, Aram. Thank you. Yeah. This is 1/10 scale makes sense. It looks beautiful. Yeah, it's so chrome and shiny. It's just kind of like that Mandalorian one that I did recently, but this is actually metal and die cast. And the last one I did was just a absolutely incredible figure. The lights light up. It's like $100 or so. Totally worth it. So I'm like, I might get this. I don't buy a lot of Iron Man, but this is just gonna probably be a really freaking cool figure. So 3-0. And the last thing I'm going to talk about, and so this is on borderline toy news at all. Actually, no, it's not. But it's along the same lines. And when I saw this, I got pretty pumped. So Coca-Cola is doing a new Star Wars collab, and all of these cans are going to be having all these Star Wars characters, and there's 30 of them. And for me, I've had vices with different things. I collect, action figures. I used to be huge in Pokemon cards, and I collect Pokemon plush. And for a long time, I collected cans. Yeah, and I stopped. I don't anymore. But there's 30 cans, and so right here we've got Darth Maul, Ahsoka, Darth Vader, and Yoda. Oh God. And just like, okay, so the original one has Lando, Obi-Wan, Queen Amidala, Kylo Ren, Ahsoka, Darth Maul, K2SO, Boba Fett, Poe Dameron, Mando, Cassian Andor, Grievous, Emperor Palpatine. Zero Sugar has Vader, Yoda, Princess Leia, Anakin, Luke, Chewbacca, Han Solo, BB-8, C-3PO, R2-D2, Finn, Rey, Grogu, and an Imperial Stormtrooper. And then only at Walt Disney World and Disneyland is a Mando and Grogu one, First Order Stormtrooper, and then Chewbacca. I don't know why Chewbacca gets such exclusive specialties, but this is cool. I'm gonna do my best to just buy these, drink them, and then recycle them and not collect them. But I think this would be really, really super, super freaking cool. And that will do it for the toy news, unless I missed anything. No, I absolutely missed probably a ton of things. Jace, there was a commercial. You saw a commercial for this? That's crazy. I don't ever see any normal commercials anymore. All right, JJ Garcia. Yes, I'll check out the the Revoltech Flash. I'll check it out. But and just so anybody knows, if you end up spamming the chat, I have to put you in a timeout, just because it makes it very difficult for me to actually respond to anything in the chat. So, all right. What do I have next? The top 10. All right. Toy photography top 10. So last week I mentioned if you ever want to be a part of this stream, have your toy photo up here, kind of similar to the way the Toy Photography React stream was. All you got to do is post something on Instagram and tag me in it, and then also do hashtag Sirdork top 10, and it puts you in the race. And then I'll kind of just like choose 10 ones that like I think are either really creative or blow me away or whatever. It's already top 10 time, right? Yeah, it moved a little slower last week, because there was so much introductory stuff last week, I feel like. Oh no, wait. It's not top 10 time. I totally skipped the main topic. All right. Oh, well, let's do top 10 now first, and then I'll do the main topic afterwards, just because I've already talked about it. Yeah, this is good. Okay, so the main topic, I'm really excited. I think I'm more excited to just rant on about it. Okay, so let's pull up top 10 toy photos. Let's see here. Man, it's so hard choosing 10 of them. But remember, if you end up tagging, because I still get tagged in so many photos constantly, which is great, and I love seeing them. But don't forget, like, if you put that hashtag Sirdork top 10 on there, it puts you in there. So don't forget to do that. Don't forget to do that. So coming up first is on the top 10 toy photos is Cole's Cave. I mean, look at this. Look at this shot. So this is what the new CT Toys Mafex Gambit, which I've heard is great. I've heard everyone is saying is great. And Cole, it has a great combination of practical action and then adding a little bit of digital stuff in there too, to just, it's just, come on, this is so freaking cool. And it's just like a character hero shot. Sometimes those are just the best things. And so, he's got a couple of them in there. This looks so good. So I think he's using the I don't think there's any actual BTS. I think he's using one of the physical pieces with the cards that it comes with, and then adding some digital stuff in there to make the practical thing look really cool, right? That's what these card pieces are. I think Noob Retro says it's fire. Yeah, no, this shot is so good. I don't know. I think it's not water. I think there's a physical card effect that comes with the figure, and then he just kind of added some cool digital stuff in Photoshop to really enhance and it looks so good. And posing of the cape looks great. And of course, shooting at this, he's shooting at the golden hour. So you got these awesome shadows and you got dirt flying up and stuff. It just looks so good. It just looks so good. So Cole, fantastic work. This is from Coles_cave on Instagram. And next is from Action Photography. I had to include Ben. I saw this shot and I thought this was awesome. Because honestly, Ben, this is definitely one of your coolest ones. You've got water splashes, and I'm a big fan of Link from Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild, and he's cutting up a strawberry. And you know what? I did a shot with Link and a strawberry once, and so when I saw this one, I was like, "This is great. This is like it pulled me right in. I instantly made that connection. I was like, Ben, good job, dude." And there's the splashes on this side of the shot are crisp as heck. And the posing on it, Ben, you did great with this. You did so good. Action, splashes, fantastic. Ben, wonderful work, dude. Wonderful shot. And coming up next, this one, I saw this, I was like, heck yeah. This is from Corellian Smuggler 226. And okay, so he did directly say, took inspiration from Sirdork Netman photo shoot. So that's really cool, and that's very flattering that my photo made you inspired enough to go and do one similarly to yourself. But how easy is it to just go and find, well, unless you don't have it near you, but how easy is it to just find a cool spot, just stick Spider-Man and boom, the spot alone is cool enough to make the photo so cool. So I think this is great, and this bridge is red, which is way cooler than my bridge. My bridge was green, which was cool. But like a red bridge that matches Spider-Man, so freaking cool. And with Tobey Maguire, so good. So good. Yeah. Crazy Gaming, YouTube, big Spidey boy. Yeah, so this looks fantastic. This is from Corellian Smuggler 226. Fantastic work. I'm actually kind of curious how you got him to stay, because this figure doesn't have magnets, right? Oh no, this is the Mafex one. So, okay, maybe the Mafex one does come with magnets because the Figure Arts one I have does not. Whoa, Two Exploding Egg says, I have a blue bridge, but it's a little rusted. That sounds cool. Like blue and then a little bit of rust. That sounds kind of awesome. Vamp, dude, I know you love Spider-Man. I know. Yeah, maybe he used some blue tack or something. That's what I'm thinking. But I think this figure probably has the magnets. But thank you. There's 98 people here in the chat. Thank you so much. That's like amazing. I really appreciate everybody being here. If you're joining it, please drop a quick like. That'd be amazing. And next on the top 10, we've got Figure Framed. This is just like such an easy shot to love. So we've got Bart Simpson riding his skateboard out of the sink. And it looks so good. It's like using the sink as like a, what's that called? It's not a half pipe. It's like a bowl, whatever. And it just looks so good. Like these kinds of things where figures are interacting with life-size stuff, it's so easy to just make that kind of connection with it. And there's a splash coming out of the sink, and I'm actually quite curious as to how you were able to get such a big splash, because that looks absolutely like a practical splash, and like it looks good. Like I don't know how you would get such a big splash from just the sink. I don't know. Maybe your sink has a lot higher pressure than mine does. So it looks, I don't know, this is just super well done. So Figure Framed, really, really great work on this. This is such a cool shot. Coming up next, I saw this one on my feed and I just was stopped, and it looks so good. This is from Yemigu. And what a cool freaking like composition wise. Indiana Jones. Obviously, this is the Mezco Indiana Jones, and a huge indie fan instantly makes me love it. But having all three of these skeletons like barging out of the doorway, and like the half and half of like the dark half of the photo and then like the lighter half of the photo because of all the light coming out of the door, it looks so good. And there's some kind of practical fog coming out of it too, and this is just so cool. And man, this is just such a well done shot, and it's so crisp. The lighting, and there's even the lighting reflecting onto Indy from the lighting coming out of the door. It's just like, yeah. And Master Tabby says the skeleton poses are great too. Each one of the poses is very meticulously done. It's really, really, really great. Um, JJ says this would be a great wallpaper. Yeah, this is a really freaking cool shot. And this is from Yemagu on Instagram. So, yeah, super freaking cool, Yemagu. Next shot is from a friend of mine, Sean, Visual Approach Photography. Ah, man, everything he does is just so good. So, Kryptonite Weapons Field Test. So, this Batman is from a new third party. Well, if you want to call it third party, or if you want to call it a bootleg, whatever. We'll talk about that in a sec. But this is from Muff Toys, this Nightmare Batman, and wow, this is just so freaking cool. I've got him on my desk over there that I plan on doing a photo with. And then the Doomsday is also, this was on, I think, 2023 top 5 figures of the year. This is the McFarlane Mega figure. It's such a crazy good figure. So this is just a really cool mashup of these two figures. So yeah, Sean, you freaking killed it, dude. You always do. And he always just uses like a big print in the background. Doesn't use a computer screen, just prints out a big photo and uses that, or whatever he does. It's just so cool. So yeah, great job from Visual Approach Photography. And the next one is from Nutty Bakers. So this is just wildly, like, I don't think people understand how difficult this is. Like, his f-stop, his aperture must have been at like f100 to be able to get all of this, like to get the very small toy so crisp, and then also everything in that super far background to be so in focus is just absolutely wild. The green on screen says holy smokes. JJ says holy crap. Any other holy gasps? It's just really cool. So he even took a BTS. And this isn't the Grand Canyon, is it? It is the Grand Canyon. This morning, me and my family woke up at 4 a.m. to drive over to the Grand Canyon. What a way to photograph the freaking Grand Canyon. Man, it really makes everything look huge. Yeah, this is just a really masterfully done photo. And the lighting is perfect. Like, this is a photo that is definitely, hey, I know what I'm doing. Let me show you. Just, yeah, so freaking good. And then I think this is the last one. This is from JP Rex, Ancient Enemies. A really cool dino shot with the Brachiosaurus, right? And T-Rex. And all this, like, this fog and the sunlight coming through. It all feels so full and real. Like, this is just super cool. I saw this. I'm like, this is just a great one. JP Rex, great work. Yeah, like, this is so good. And I feel like, I don't know, it's just not going to be an easy fight. Like, is the T-Rex not going to come out on top of this easily? Oh, this is not a Brachiosaurus. This is an Ankylosaurus. What's a Brachiosaurus? Oh, no, Brachiosaurus is the long neck, right? Jeez. How wrong could I possibly have been? Ankylosaurus. Okay, yeah. That makes sense. How is there only one person correcting me? I feel like that was a huge screw up. Hey, I'm new. I'm a noob to dinos. I'm just getting back into it. Thank you for everyone for giving me a little bit of a leeway here. Mm-hmm. He's called an Ankylosaurus because of his big ankles. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, you're right. So yeah, this is from JP Rex. Awesome job, JP. Super awesome work. And that'll do it for the top 10. If you want to be in the top 10, It's easy. On Instagram, post any toy photo you want. Hashtag Sirdork Top 10 and make sure to tag me in it. Very, very important. Very, very important. Hey, Jeremazing. Hey, if Jurassic Park can get all the dinos wrong, Sirdork is allowed to do it as well. Do they get it wrong? They can do whatever they want, I guess. Okay, so now on to the main topic of what I really wanted to talk about. So I'm going to present my thing. So if you're unfamiliar, the action figure world, we get exposed to a lot of bootleg action figures. And by bootleg, that can mean a lot of different things. But for the most part, bootleg is, someone who's not allowed to sell this intellectual property, and they do it anyway. So there's two main terms that gets thrown around in the toy community. And one of them is bootleg. The other one is third party. Bootleg and third party. And I'm thinking that the terms that we use, bootleg means this, third party means this. I'm thinking that the terms don't make sense. I'm feeling like the terms we've given to them don't make they're and I'm not saying that we should change the name. Anybody can call them whatever the heck they want, but I'm thinking like these really are not good terms for them. And the reason I want to bring it up is because anytime I post a bootleg or a third party or something like that, there's always arguments in the comments saying, well, this is a third party, not a bootleg because it's this. Well, this is a bootleg and not a third party. This is this. This is a bootleg. In my opinion, they're all bootlegs. They're absolutely all bootlegs. But, some of them have different kinds of classifications. And so by no means am I saying that, we should change the names. And I think this is kind of just affectionately what the fan base have been calling these things. So on the screen right now, I have 4 figures. One of them is a Mess Toys Black Suit Neighbor. And so this Mess Toys one, review for that is coming up on Sunday, by the way. So that's coming. That's brand new. Review for that on Sunday. So the Mess Toys Black Suit Neighbor, that's, people would say bootleg or third party for that one. And so the next one is Hasbro Maximum Marvel Legends figure. Marvel Legends, we all know that. The next one is DB Toys Netman, which a lot of people would call him a third party. And then all the way in the end is a CT Toys Mafex Spider-Man 075. And most people would just call that a bootleg. And so what? Okay, so let's what do we usually call a bootleg? A bootleg, usually people call a bootleg is if you go on eBay and you're like, oh wow, this Mafex Spider-Man is only $25. Wow, let me buy it. And then you accidentally get shipped. You actually get shipped a knockoff of that figure from China, a Chinese knockoff or a counterfeit. That's usually a bootleg, like an exact replica of a real product that exists that has been made by some counterfeit company sending you a fake version of that product. It's not a real, genuine product. It's a fake counterfeit version. So that's what usually we would call bootlegs. And so CT Toys, they make a lot of bootlegs, and they sometimes add their own flair to them. There's tons of them. There's tons of different bootlegs like that. So that's usually what we in the toy community will call a bootleg figure. So a third party figure, what we would usually call a third party figure is a company will make their own action figure. They'll make it totally from scratch, but they don't go out and get the official permission, the official license to make it. So it's their own genuine product, but they can't say Spider-Man. They call it Netman or whatever. It's its own thing, but it's not licensed. So this one here, Netman, over here, this is a perfect example of a third party, what people would call a third party figure. So third party, bootleg, those are usually the terms for them. So this is what I'm thinking. I think they're all bootlegs. 100% is the term we put them. But I think there are better names to put underneath these bootleg figures. So okay, listen. Listen to this really quick. So the term third party, I think, is not the right word for what we call these third party products. I think third party is absolutely not the right thing, because let's think about this Hasbro figure up here. Hasbro Maximum Marvel Legends. There you go. Marvel Legends figure. I think third party fits that classification more than anything else. That I think the term third party fits a Marvel Legends more than it fits anything else. I think that fits. And so the reason why I think third party fits with that, just think about it. So let's see, there's Marvel, Disney, they own Spider-Man. They own the intellectual property of Spider-Man. That's the first party. Yes, Sony owns the movie distribution, that's not what I'm talking about. But Marvel, Disney, they own Spider-Man, the intellectual property of Spider-Man. And then the second party, us consumers, we're the second party. First party, second party. And so what Marvel and Disney does is they have a third party who makes the figure, which is Hasbro. Hasbro is the third party making the figure officially for us to buy. There's a third party involved. If it was like a first party thing, Disney would have their own action figure making department where they make them. Well, they do. But Hasbro is a third party. They're in between the first party and us. So technically, a Marvel Legends, I think, is a better example of a quote unquote third party figure than anything else. Right? The term third party doesn't really make sense for these bootleg things. Okay, so let's if and I'm not saying that we can't call them third party, whatever we call them. Whenever I do a video now, I'm going to just say bootleg, third party, whatever you want to call it. I'm just going to use that exact thing, whatever you want to call it, quote unquote. That's what I'm going to say, because it's fine. Whatever we call them is fine. But this is just me kind of ranting about what I think is the right terminology. So I think both the quote unquote third party and bootlegs, I think those are both fall under bootlegs. I think those are all bootlegs. But I think what we normally just call bootleg, I think we can just call that a knockoff or a counterfeit. A fake version of a Mafex. I think that we knock off, counterfeit. I think we should that works. Knock off. But I think instead of calling Netman, instead of calling him a third party, which I really don't think is a good thing, I don't think that makes sense. I think just calling him an unlicensed figure is the right term. I think unlicensed is the right term for that, right? Yeah, Comic Dad, exactly. Third party equals no license. Bootleg equals knockoff. This is exactly the point I'm trying to make. Is I think the third party term, I think, is just that this is exactly what we are calling it in the community. That's what we've all kind of, But this is me saying I think that's not right. So I think unlicensed, so Netman or the Muff Toys Kryptonite Seeker, the Muff Toys Metropolis Protector, the Mess Toys Black Suit Neighbor. Those are just unlicensed figures. I think the better term for that would be unlicensed instead of third party, because I just think third party doesn't really fit. You know what I mean? I think a Marvel Legends is more of a third party. And then I think most figures that we go out and buy are third party figures. If I were to buy a Mafex, that's a third party. A Mafex Batman, Warner Brothers owns Batman. I am the second party. First party is Warner Brothers. Third party is Medicom. They're making it for whatever because they licensed it. That's all. That's also third party. I think third party works for that. The only thing that's not third party is like a G.I. Joe. That's a first party figure because Hasbro owns the intellectual property of G.I. Joe, and they are making the figures. So they're making the figures and they're part of the ownership. There's no third party involved. It's just us straight to consumers, or Hasbro right to consumers. Boom, boom. There's no third party involved. It's just first party, right? You know what I mean? So Enrique, I'm curious what Enrique says. I don't see that because the issue is the license. So a figure that does not pay for the license to profit of the sale of the trademark image franchise, they're basically selling illegally. Yeah, you're right. You're right. They absolutely are. they're figuring out ways to dodge that, or just completely selling it illegally. So I think those are all bootlegs too. Even what we call a third party, like Netman. I think Netman's a bootleg too, but I think a better term is unlicensed. Unlicensed, I think, is the better term for that. Medicom is the second party. I think as far as the parties go, I think the consumer is the first party. So there's like, the Spider-Man ownership, Disney, that's the first party. We are the second party as a consumer, and then the third party is the person making it for them to give to us. That's the third party, right? And this, it's fun to think about. It's fun to think about. And then there's some things that are kind of in between, like this Mess Toys one up here, which is really cool, by the way. This Mess Toys is super cool. And that's kind of like they've ripped off Amazing Yamaguchi by basically taking their mold. There's a couple different things, though. And then they're, doing some different things to it to make it their own unlicensed figure called Mess Toys Black Suit Neighbor. So Sub says undocumented figures. I like that. That one's really good. So in no way am I saying that we shouldn't call Netman a third party, or we shouldn't call. I'm just like, it's a thought, because these arguments always come up on every comment section about bootleg versus third party. This. No matter what stance I'm on, there's an argument on both sides. Lightning Mario says, isn't a third party a group of people making a figure without a license, and a bootleg figure don't have a group name? That's currently what people call them. Yeah. And I'm trying to say that I think that's not a good term. I think there's better terms for that. Enrique says, within these unlicensed products, I see two main differences. One, the ones that downright copy the rip-off product and as is. Yes. Yeah. So Comic Fan is just like, I want to see Venom and Toxin. Toxin's upstairs sleeping. Venom is back and forth coming up onto my lap and whatnot. But it's interesting, right? Interesting. So interesting. Or unofficial works. Anything works. Go ahead. We'll probably continue to call them bootleg versus third party. And I bet you that, there'll be plenty more arguments going forward about this is this. But this is me officially making my stance on that. But it's kind of, I feel like my point on the Marvel Legends being third party, that's a pretty good point. I feel like, unless I'm like, there's probably someone who works in like actual marketing or something and licensing. They're like, actually, no, you have no idea what you're talking about. And then I'll be like, okay. So that's what I'm thinking. And Jay says, I'm kind of scared to get bootlegs. I mean, when you buy a bootleg, you are taking a risk at all times, I think. Master Tabby says, I think we are the third party because they make the figure from the first party, and the second party sell them to us, the third party. Like the vendor, that would also be a third party too, I guess. Right? Like the person who sells them, like Big Bad Toy Store or something, would be the third party, right? That's a great point. That's a great point. Very, very great point. Yeah, and I see most people are throwing in the chat saying exactly the thing that I'm trying to say I think is wrong. Surely bootlegs are clones, copies. Third party are unlicensed original designs. Exactly. That's exactly what the consensus of the toy world is. That's exactly what it is. Like, here we go. Lightning Mario. Have you heard of Demoniacal Fit or Tanzin art? Demoniacal Fit is a perfect example of what we usually call third party, which I think is a better term. It's just unlicensed. Very good points. All right. I think I've ranted on about that too much, but either way, this Mess Toys figure up here, freaking incredible. Absolutely incredible. You're going to see me go butt wild over this figure when I post the review. I just finished editing it like 10 minutes before this live video started. So there's that. Okay, so next is member questions. So this is like the Q&A segment of the thing, but the first questions that I'm going to take are members. So if you're a channel member here on my YouTube channel, every time before the Sirdork Dorkcast begins, I'll post and be like, hey, throw your questions in here. So anyone who's a channel member can comment and ask a question and or just a topic, and then I'll talk about it. So thank you so much, anyone who's a channel member. Like, that's incredible. And if you're interested in joining the channel membership, if you click right below the video on YouTube, right next to where it usually says subscribe, there's a button that says join. And Go Figure Go says, what about super chat questions? There's never a time in which I'll ignore anything from a super chat. So yeah, if you ever have a question and you throw in a super chat, I'm sure as hell gonna prioritize that, answer it right away, because that's, you know, there's never, I'll never ignore that. Absolutely not. So first question is from, are you getting the Batman the Animated Series Mezco figure? This is from Toys with Tank. Thanks, Toys with Tank. I'm probably not going to pick up the Mezco Batman the Animated Series. I don't usually go for the super stylized figures. Like, usually I'll like to collect like figures that have somewhat of a realistic look to them. You know, like most figures are based off of movies or TV shows or comic books, and comic books are usually illustrated in a way to look like real things. So they all kind of work together. Other than that, they're the only things that don't will be like Pokemon. There's no realistic. Well, I mean, I guess Detective Pikachu counts, but you know, just like things that have somewhat grounded in realism. And that's not a rule I have or anything. I think that's just kind of typical of what I would normally do. So yeah, thanks, Toys with Tank. Toys with Tank. Next is from Framed Figures Photography. What's your most anticipated pre-order? Mine is either the in-art Batman Dark Knight Rises or Agent Gomez 1975. Well, that in-art Batman is quite amazing. It really is quite incredible. And I'm not into the Rumble Society Mezco stuff, but I know a lot of people are, so I'm sure that that figure is going to be super cool. My most anticipated pre-order. Well, I haven't pre-ordered it yet, but that SH Figuarts Superman, that I'm very excited for. Even though that hasn't even been revealed. They just showed the chest. What else do I have on pre-order? Well, I do have a new Hot Toys Baby Yoda Grogu life-size figure coming. I'm very excited for that. I went to Star Wars Celebration in Japan, and that was my main goal to get, and it was sold out by the time I got there. What else am I excited for? There's a lot of stuff. Man, I'm totally blanking right now on what I even have on pre-order because I've got so much. I've been really looking forward to the Krampus NECA figure for a long time, and just keeps getting pushed back constantly. So that one too, I'm excited for. But yeah, lots of stuff. Thanks, Framed Figures Photography. And here we go. This is from the Domesticated Caveman 2813, and throws out a really relevant question. Says, how do you find a reliable source for buying your boots, or does such a thing exist? Well, I would first answer the question, or does such a thing exist? I would say there's no 100% reliable bootleg thing ever. Like, even like ones that I would say are the more reliable. Whenever you're buying a bootleg, you're taking a chance. You're taking a risk because you don't know what you're going to get exactly. And, so I would say though, so the only real good bootlegs that I have really been encountering are the ones by CT Toys, or now this Mess Toys, that are like actual quality. And they do have an official store on AliExpress. So anytime I post a video about them, I link it to them. It's called Funly, like Funly Store, like Funly, Funly Store. and that's their official AliExpress store. So if you buy a CT toy figure from that Funly store, that is the most direct way to get a CT Toys bootleg. And so I would say is the most reliable way. But I've ordered things from there that I still haven't gotten yet. And I'm like, did they just forget about this? Like, what's going on? And so I don't know. Anytime you buy anything from AliExpress, you're taking a big chance. Plus, they always package them in like a bag, so they always get crunched in the mail coming from Canada. It's just like, so I would say there's no definite reliable way for it, but that's probably the most reliable one. The only other bootleg I've ever bought that was like, wow, this is really good, was like a SpongeBob Nendoroid, and I just bought that off a random one on AliExpress, and so I don't know. So that's my best answer, I would say. Hopefully that helps, Domesticated Caveman. Next is from Kid Vamps. Should I buy the Mess Toys Symbiote Spider-Man or the Mafex Toby Spider-Man? Well, I don't have the Mafex Toby one. And in the last video where I said I wasn't interested in buying it, a lot of people kind of got upset with me that I didn't want to buy it. So apparently it's very good. People say it's very, very good. But the Mess Toys Symbiote Spider-Man is cheaper, and it's pretty amazing. So on Sunday when I post that video about it, I would say definitely watch. And if you think it, I don't know, I say a lot of good things about it. It's pretty cool. I would say go for it. Definitely to go for it. But if you don't have a Toby yet, then I would say crap, you need a Toby in general, just because it's Tobey Maguire. So that's what I would say, Vamp. That Mess Toys thing it's pretty crazy. It's gonna change the world with boots, in my opinion. Toys with Tank again says, what photo that you've done is your favorite? My favorite photo I've ever done is this. I don't have a good way of pulling it up quickly, but it's the first photo I ever did with the patrol trooper. The guy that's my background right now. This guy. That's the first photo I ever did with him, and I used explosions and water at the same time. And ever since I took that photo, I loved it so much. And that photo became a photo I used for everything. And then eventually that trooper became everything I used for everything. And that's why he's kind of like my mascot for Sirdork. So that's probably my favorite. And that's from like 2018 or something. It's very, very old, but it's really, really cool. Do I have any of my, I don't think I have any of it, but that's why I used that trooper for my like logo guy, my mascot. First photo I ever took where I was like, wow, I did a good job. I did a really great job. Retro Storm says, have you ever gone out to do a photo in the rain or other bad weather? Yes, definitely. More often nowadays I do, because with YouTube and doing this kind of thing as like my job, I have time crunches I have to meet. I have time frames I have to meet. So I'm like, crap, I got to take a photo and it's raining out. So I guess I'm going out in the rain. So the most recent time I did, if you watch that, it's the Stitch video, the Lilo, the video about the Stitch figure. I take the photo straight up in the rain because I needed to take it just straight up in the rain. And there's another one I did where the Scorpion from Mortal Kombat, I actually put up a big awning above where I was going to shoot so I could have dry. So I'm shooting in the rain, but I'm underneath a big cover. So yeah, that's a fun question, Retro. I would just say, be careful with your camera. Hey, Krieg says, what's the most challenging photo you've done? Most challenging photo. Usually those are ones that are like consisting of like ones out of my comfort zone, So, okay, so probably I'm just kind of scrolling on my Instagram right now. Okay, you know what? This photo right here, this was one of the hardest I've done in a while. This was really hard. It was way harder than I thought. This was the Mattis. Thanks so much for the super chat, dude. I just got my SH Figure Arts Ace. Well, fantastic. I hope you love him. I hope you love him. Thank you so much for the super chat. That's amazing. Wow, go figure, go. You literally guessed it. Wow, that's amazing. And this is the one where that's your fire hydrant, by the way. But yeah, this was a very, very hard photo. I kind of underestimated how difficult it would be getting this exactly the way I wanted it, because getting Hulk to be posed like that, and also having the fire hydrant that, and then also getting a perfect splash, all definitely the much more challenging than. And something I forget too is, like, when I splash water in this crazy light, it just makes so much crazy white splashes everywhere, and it just like takes over the whole photo. It's really, really hard to do. So yeah, that's I guess from my most recent memory as being my most challenging photo. So I think, unless there's any new questions, that is the last member question. Thank you so much, anyone who's part of that membership. And like I said, if you want to join and you get basically, question every week, it's just right underneath the video on the join button. So now I'm just gonna, if you have any questions, throw them in the live chat, and I'll be happy to do my best to answer as many as possible for the rest of the stream. We're doing great on time. The green on screen, you threw one in? Did you? Oh, you did. I have it up. I just refreshed it and I missed it. Hang on, the green on screen. Let me pull you up. No. I went to the bottom thinking that the newest would be on the bottom. But the green on screen says, have you looked into some Valaverse or military figures? I had the Valaverse Desert Condor, and he's really cool. I've seen the Valaverse figures, and they look really good. They look really cool. I'm just not particularly interested in it. And I'm such a sucker. I'm like a corporation's biggest, like, corporations love me because I'm such a sucker for intellectual property and like Superman and Star Wars and all these big, properties that they sell. So like, I usually only dive into like characters that I love, that I'm already super familiar with. So probably not, but I have seen them in person, and they probably will be at that Great American Toy Show that I'm talking about. They will be there. They're usually at those conventions. So yeah. So D&T Figure says, how does it feel to almost be at 300K subscribers? It feels very good. I feel very, very proud of myself, and grateful and fortunate to be in that position. So everyone who's here, thank you for subscribing and watching. That's really, really amazing. My goal, I had a goal at the beginning of the year. I wanted to be at 500 by the end of the year, which I'm a little behind. I would have to really pick it up if I wanted to reach that, but I guess it's possible. But I'm so happy to be for that 300. That's crazy. Jace Hurd says, did you see the new Jada Toys Mega Man? I did, but I don't know a darn thing about Mega Man, so I'm just not gonna pick him up. I don't really have a good connection with that character at all, so I have no real reason to pick him up. Besides, the figure looks cool, and if I were to make a video about it, it would just be like, he looks cool, this guy, and it would just be a video of me getting stuff wrong and having no passion, and it will result in a much less interesting video too. Whack Monkey said, are you going to do a video for Superman and Fantastic Four? I'm probably going to do a lot of videos for Superman. I already have one for tomorrow ready to go. That video is going to be coming out soon. I don't think the Fantastic Four Marvel Legends come out for a while, right? It takes a while for those to come out. I would like to do video for those, though. I think that would be really, really fun. Abad says, do you like Lego Ninjago or Star Wars? I mean, I like Star Wars a lot. Maybe you're thinking Lego Star Wars. I'm not really big into Lego, which is really weird because I was obsessed with Lego as a little kid, but I'm really into it. So I love Star Wars, Lego Ninjago. I'm glad that it exists, but I'm not really into it. Titus says, how does it feel about doing this full time, Sirdork? It's amazing. I every night, like, before I go to bed, I think about tomorrow I get to wake up again and just do this. And it's cool. And I'm definitely putting in a lot of hours and definitely working far more than 40 hours a week. But every single second of that work is so much fun, you know. And it's great. I'm so grateful. Mattis says, "Why do you not collect anime figures?" Well, I do. I do collect anime figures. I just don't make as many videos about them because first of all, they don't perform quite as well on my channel. I think maybe because I'm not used to doing them so much. And there's other things sometimes I get more excited about and do videos for. So I've got a decent amount of anime figures. I've got a lot of Dragon Ball Z. I've got the whole Yu Yu Hakusho gang. I've got My Hero Academia gang, and I've got some videos coming up, anime ones. So don't you worry. Don't you worry. Bayla says, most of my collection is 1/6. Do you have any, or do you just stick to the smaller scales? I've got a lot of 1/6 figures too. I just I do a lot more 1/12 for sure. But I've got a lot of I probably got like 20 Hot Toys. I've got some Mondo. I've got a bunch of 3-0. I've got a little bit of everything. But I'll probably will do more of them coming up in the future with some 1/6 stuff. Collision, this is a really great question. Are you planning on doing any collabs? I unfortunately, that's one of the big L's, a very few big L's about my hobby is now my career. I have to, everything I post like on Instagram has to be something that is potentially, something that will help progress my career potentially, because that's how I pay my bills now. So I can't do a lot of collabs anymore because I'm so focused on putting out videos and stuff that are for this, so that I just don't have the time anymore, which sucks because I absolutely love collabing with people and people that I know and love, and it's just like something I miss very much. So it's definitely one of the very few big sacrifices I have to make to do it. But go figure, go. Thanks for the super chat, dude. You're amazing, man. What food do you eat that Venom the cat always wants? This is a great question because both Venom and Toxin are they're basically dogs. They are so annoying. Anytime I sit down to eat, they are right up in my face trying to get it. And Venom was such a jerk the other day. He literally tried to eat and take the food out of, like, I'm taking a bite and he's like putting his hands in mouth trying to take it out of my mouth. What was I eating? I don't remember what I was eating. But anytime I get fries, I always give Venom a fry. Venom loves fries, and he goes and eats. He'll eat one, come back. I'll give him another, come back, and then I'll give him a third, and then he'll usually be good. He won't come back after that. But Venom's a little thin, and I've been trying to fatten him up a little bit more, so I've been trying to give him more fries. Here he is. Did you hear me talking about you? Look how he needs to be fattened up a little bit. No, he's doing just fine. Master Tabby says, can you take a Spidey and Daredevil photo sometime? Actually, I don't own any Daredevil. I don't have any Daredevil figures. The Mafex one looks good, and honestly, if CT Toys does one for that Mafex, I'll probably pick that one up because it looks really good. Hopefully they do it. Abad says, do you like Marvel or DC figures? Yes. Or maybe you're thinking, which one do I like more? I like DC more. I do a lot more Marvel videos, unfortunately. But no, I love both very much, but I'm a DC fanboy at heart for sure. Jay says, are you doing a video on the Dark Ages Doomslayer? Heck yeah, I am. Heck to the yeah, I am. I can't wait. But it doesn't come out till like September. I hate when figures don't come out around the time of the release of this. It's just like, ugh. So yes, definitely can't wait. You should buy the CT Toy Spider-Man 2.0 to compare with the. You know what? I ordered that one forever ago. I don't know where the heck it is. So at this point, I might skip the video because it's late. So that's on CT Toys. But I'm very excited for it. Titus says, "What's your favorite action figure?" Sorry for spamming the cat, by the way. Favorite action figure is the Mafex Mandalorian 2.0, the Chrome version. Sorry, it's a question I get very often, and it's always the same answer. Oh no, that's not true at all. I did change that once the Chrome version came out. Is a stickbot or clickbot shooting and reviewing video coming soon? It is. It is. I promise. I actually bought clickbots and stickbots because of how many comments bombarding me to do them. And they're not even asking, they're just demanding. It's like, do a stickbot. I'm like, right. I will. Jeez. Not even just telling me to do it. It's like, okay. Whew. No, I of course I'll do it. So if I do the video and nobody watches it, I'm gonna be mad. Antonio says, "Is buying figures considered a business expense now?" Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, one thing is I physically have to buy more. I have to buy so many. Luckily, I do get them for free often, which is very, very helpful. But yeah, all the receipts I save them, and then when tax time comes, I can add them in as a business expense. So that's really, really cool. Really, really cool. Zpo says, "Have you watched Squid Game yet?" I watched the first season, and I started watching second season, and then I stopped. So I don't know. JJ Garcia, will I ever do stop motion? This is a question I also get all the time, and I always say, yes, I've already done it. I made a stop motion video for Walmart.com once for Bluey, and there's a video about it on the YouTube channel. So very, very exciting. It was very exciting, but I suck at it. I'll say that. It's a very amateur video. When you watch it, you'll be like, wow, this is pretty amateur. Wheels Toy Photo says, "Do you ever get frustrated when an idea doesn't come across as you thought it would as a photo?" Sometimes it's like the opposite effect. Sometimes it turns out very different than what I was expecting, but I'm like, cool. Like, this is different, but I like it. I like it very much. I guess one way is just always have that type of open attitude to where if it doesn't necessarily work out the way you're hoping, it might still be awesome. The way you're hoping might not be the best. This might be even better. So always kind of keep that attitude, I think. But yeah, every once in a while I'll take a photo and I'm like, that's not, I got to redo that. That's not good. It's not what I was expecting. I should just change concepts entirely. Like recently when I did that Spider-Man where he's sticking to upside down with Venom and they're like, whatever. Now my intention was not a photo like that at all, but I had to change gears. And so I was like, wait, I'm so glad I had to change gears because it turned out like this. So yeah, really cool. What do you think of people who hate bootlegs? I mean, I think anybody can hate whatever they want as long as they have a valid reason for it, unless you're hating people because of the way they are, and then you're awful. So but if you hate bootleg action figures, then that's fine. You can hate it. That's great. I would say if you hate bootlegs because they're low quality, that's fair. If you hate bootlegs because you think it's immoral, I see that and I get that. Like you're buying a illegal product, but what I would say is it's not immoral for you to buy them because the immoral thing is the person selling them. We as consumers, it is our natural right, human right is to find the best deal for us. And as far as capitalism goes, right? Like we're consumers, we need to make the best thing for us. And if we find that this thing, even if it's a bootleg, is cheaper and it's still better quality and it is overall a better option for us as consumers, we should take that because that's the way our capitalism works. And we need we should do that. We're not obligated to buy the expensive thing only because it's the real thing. We can buy whatever we want, and we should buy what's best for us. The responsibility falls on the seller to be the moral one. They need to. If they're doing something illegal, that's on them, not us. We're just buying whatever's best for us. You know. So there you go. That's what I think about that. So, but if you think it's immoral, then that's totally fine. Mind Trick Photography. Hey man, welcome back. I know I did change the membership thing, so everyone's membership changed and was canceled when I changed the pricing. So welcome back. Thanks for coming back, dude. It's glad to have you back. Zpos, are you almost at 300,000? You need 1,000. Actually, I need like 300 or something. So maybe by tomorrow. That would be very, very cool. Let's see. Mr. Kiwi says Mezco Marvel 112 Collective Amazing Spider-Man Deluxe Edition or the recent Netman, which is better in your opinion? Well, I don't have that Mezco Spider-Man. I've heard a lot of people really like it. I've seen a lot of very positive things about it, even recently. I think they're pretty different still. I bet you the Mezco one seems like it could, in general, have more longevity to it. But I really like Mezco, or the Netman. I really like Netman. So I think it's I would say decide which style, because they're both just different stylizations. If you're looking for a more classic, normal Spider-Man, maybe Mezco. But if you like that cool Ultimate Spider-Man, like younger looking, like figure body type, then go with Netman. I think Netman's great. Oh, Sebastian says, are you going to make a video of Shin Godzilla? I probably won't do the SH Monster Arts Shin Godzilla because it's an older figure. And so I kind of have to, in my own best interest, make videos about newer figures because that's usually where the other interest is. But when Haya Toys does one, yes, I will definitely be doing that. Definitely doing that. Yamura, you should get the SHF Sailor Moon. You know what? I've had a few of those as during my life. It's weird how I've gotten and lost them as time has gone on. Titus says, why do you like DC? And who do you like your favorite? I'm more connected with the characters. I just like those characters more. And I mean, Batman, Superman, The Flash, Green Lantern. I love those characters so much. And so I just have such a more profound connection with them, which always is going to make me go towards them. And I read a lot more DC comics, and I'm just more interested in those guys. And Superman's my favorite character ever. Not even just DC characters, favorite ever. Fig Tube says, hello, I have a question. If you have a question, just throw it in there. Just throw it on in there. Are you going to do more T13, like green tea? No, T13 videos. Yes, I plan on consistently doing more of them because yeah, that's the plan. Krieg. I need to. You know what? I've been thinking about this. Send me a message, and I have a better idea for this because I know that I totally screwed you over on this. So send me a message, and I'll send you a message, and I have a really great idea to fix that. I was thinking about it. What's your favorite bootleg? Says Noob Retro. Probably that Mess Toys one that the video is coming up for Sunday. That's probably my favorite one. Man, that's such a cool friggin' figure. D Hunter version says CT Toys just recently dropped their Mafex bootleg Gambit. I got it because I feel that Mafex won't release it anytime soon, so I bought the CT version. Will you check it out? I don't think I'm gonna check it out. I don't really care so much about Gambit. I think he's a cool character, but it's not somebody that I would typically collect. So I'm just probably gonna skip that one. Shane Foley says, who's your favorite SMS basketball teammate? Man, that's tough. It's a really tough question. Probably Matt Palma. No, Shane. You. Answer is you. That's an easy answer, and you knew that. Love you, Shane. Thanks for coming in. That was a great question. Great question. Shane is SMS basketball. That Shane and I met playing rec basketball in like 5th grade back in the day. That's where we met. So there's that. AJ says, you're my favorite toy guy. I love you. Thanks a lot. I love you too. Thanks for watching. Abad says, what's the most expensive DC character that you have? I've got a few expensive DC hot toys. I've got the Armored Batman hot toy and the Nightmare Batman hot toy. And then I've got a couple Superman. So probably those. Probably is. Haha. Thought you liked that one. Would you ever do a video on the Mafex, the Batman, now that the sequel script is complete? Yeah, maybe when the second movie comes out, I'll probably do more the Batman related stuff. I did a couple of them with the McFarlane when that came out. And I did the Fonjoy. So whatever, yeah, I'll probably do something, whether it be the Mafex or whatever other new things are coming out. Then DX Hunter, I appreciate it so much. I really do. All right, I'm gonna answer like a couple more questions, and then that'll be it. Zpo says, "Can you show us your play button?" Sure. It's pretty cool. I've shown it off before. Pretty cool, right? Right. If you go on Instagram, it's my pinned post is got this in it. So very, very cool. It's crazy. It's not too long ago that was coming in the mail when I reached 100, and now I'm at 300. It's wild. Really, really wild. Charlotte Webb says, Welch, Charlotte Welch. I got the McFarlane new Superman figure for a pic that I got inspiration from you. No, that's amazing. That makes me very happy. So did I. It's a pretty great figure. It's a pretty really great figure. Appertoy, if you had the chance to go back in time, what would be the top 3 things to share with your younger self about toy photography? Man, I feel like so much of what I learned is so much more complicated than just telling something. Like 3 things, I would say: think bigger, keep going out of your comfort zone and trying new things, and what else would I say? I would say stop worrying about just blowing stuff up all the time. Other photos are cool too without that. Who do you think would win in a fight, Sirdork? Dr. Doom or the Doom Slayer? You're good, JJ. Dr. Doom or the Doom Slayer? I don't know how strong. Dr. Doom is apparently a very, very powerful character. But the Doom Slayer is too. So that's a good question. And this is coming from a place of not knowing a whole lot about Dr. Doom, but I probably would say I feel like Dr. Doom. I feel like Dr. Doom, right? I don't know. Yeah, the Darkest also says that. Blowing stuff up is cool. Craig, you're absolutely right. It is very, very cool. But back then I had anxiety that like if I didn't take a photo with crazy effects, then it would be boring and no one would care about it. But that's not true at all. It doesn't have to be that. Appertoy says, are you considering having toy photographers as guests for the podcast? I'm not planning on having any guests on the podcast, but I am planning on having co-hosts. So I guess technically they are guests, but they'd be guest co-hosts. So I probably will plan on getting so like in the other videos I did where I would have like a guest, I would be like kind of interviewing them, and then the video would kind of be about them. So going forward, if I do have guest hosts on, they're going to be going through all the same motions that I'm going through right now, but just doing it with me, and we'll be just bouncing back and forth about this, like this and this, and then it'd be kind of more like a conversation instead of an interview. So that's why I'm saying co-host as opposed to guest. But I'm still planning on. I have some great, hopefully people that you would recognize in mind, and also I want to make sure they're people that I think I can bounce back and forward off of with someone that I think would be good for something entertaining to listen to, you know, just because that's what podcasts usually are about. It's just like listening to like people having back and forth conversation, you know. So I think that'll be it. Oh wait, Stubbs. Oh, this is your last one from Stubbs. Hero battle winner. Whoever writes the story deadlines, Stanley. Okay, referring to the Doctor Doom versus Doomslayer. No, that's absolutely right. It's 100% because every time a character is written for a comic book, for instance, it's written differently and their power set is different and whatever. So you're absolutely right. That's perfect. That's perfect. Yeah, that's it. Thank you everyone so much for watching and being part of the live stream here on Dorkcast. I appreciate this so much, and I always feel so good that these I feel like these podcasts have been hopefully actually entertaining to watch. And I haven't gotten around to it, but I'm gonna put these up on like an actual podcast feed, like on Spotify and that kind of thing too. So getting around to it, but just so many other things keep coming up on my plate, which is great. It's a really great problem to have. Apertoy says, don't forget to like. Yes, please. That'd be great if you haven't yet. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a wonderful weekend. 2 videos coming up Saturday and Sunday. Please be excited for those. It would be amazing if you watch them, but only if you want to. Don't watch it. Watch one of my videos because you feel like you have to help me out. Watch a video only because you think it's cool and it's actually entertaining. It's my responsibility to make something interesting to watch. It's not your responsibility to help me out. It's not. So, yeah. Anyway, have a great weekend. Be safe. Bye, everyone. See ya.